Hey, what's up everybody? We have a repair going on here. This job we finished up a couple months ago. This bathroom came out just spectacular, man. I mean, all the details came together really nice. I did the design on it and Spencer did most of the install. But this job, it just came out just beautiful. I mean, it's one of those kind of simple designs, but we really let the tile speak for itself. Matte black finishes and then a skyline glass door. Fabbed up the countertop also with the vessel sinks and installed the mirrors. Everything centered, everything, we were able to plan everything out. That's one of the nice things about being involved in the design of the fixtures and everything. We could line everything up exactly the way we want during the rough-in stage. We're not like trying to middleman a plumber or anything. We do all the plumbing in-house, all the electrical in-house. So we can really get everything where we need to get it to make sure that everything comes out right. So anyways, really proud of how this bathroom came out. I also want to thank Bjorn. Bjorn is a viewer of mine and he's from Norway, but he spends time here in the States a lot doing business. And Bjorn got me this job referral right in my hometown. But what happened with this is the heated floor didn't register, it didn't work. The thermostat was jacked up. We swapped out the thermostat. I thought that would fix it. What it was doing was it was reading a temperature of 104 degrees on the floor and we couldn't lower it anymore. I thought it was the thermostat. We swapped out the thermostat. We switched the sensors because we put 2 sensors in every floor. And what it turned out is that the sensors are bad. So I had my Ditra Heat guy come out, the Schluter rep. Fortunately, I still have a good relationship with Schluter. A lot of you guys think that I like hate Schluter or something because I've been critical about some of their products, and that's not the case at all. I still have a decent relationship with Schluter and their technical reps. So the technical rep came out, he used a machine that sends a DC current through the sensor wire so that we could locate the end of the sensor. What it does is it turns AC current into DC, sends it through the sensor cable, goes to the end of the sensor and heats that sensor up, the little sensor on the end of the cable. So then we used a infrared camera and we were able to locate the precise location of the 2 sensors in the floor. And so we know what tiles to remove. Once we remove those tiles, we splice in a new sensor to the end of the cable, and hopefully that fixes it. But either way, it's a bummer that we have such a nice finished job and the customer has to deal with more work. But yeah, so Spencer's just pulling up right here. We'll go in the house and get this repair going. What's up, Spencer? How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Ready to get this going on?
Yeah.
We're going to, since this is a finished bathroom, everything's nice in here. We need to really cover up everything really well. So we're gonna get plastic off everything, plastic off the entrance to the bedroom, and we'll get popping these tiles out. I'm gonna start by removing this one. I'm just using a razor knife and I'm gonna scrape out the grout so that when we bust it out, it relieves the pressure and doesn't want to chip the adjacent tiles. I also have to be really careful not to go too deep with this because there's heating cable under it and that would be bad. So I'm not taking all the grout out. I'm probably taking like, 50% of that grout out of the tile, and that'll help it bust out. Okay, I'm just gonna start by hopefully busting these up with the hammer. So I'm just gonna kind of go lightly, see if I can break this up. So Spencer did a pretty good job on this. Sounds like there's a lot of coverage under here. And this is Schluter all set, so it's been curing for what, a couple months at least. 3 or 4 months maybe. It's been a long time. So this tile is going to be stuck down really well. Yeah, so what I'm finding is this little ball peen hammer is doing a pretty good job using the ball end. That seems to be breaking up the more delicate areas. So this is just a big framing hammer that helped me smash it up. But as I get into the more delicate areas around the perimeter, I'm gonna be using this ball peen while Spencer holds the vacuum. Okay, so we'll just keep going on this side here. There's the sensor. All right, so I've located the sensor wire right here. So there's the sensor wire right there, the little black sensor wire. So I've located that, so I know it's going to be right in here. I'll be really careful as I work in this area. Yeah, I actually hit that sensor wire and I was like, ooh, but it looks like it's fine. Yeah. Okay, I'll try to go a little bit. All right, yeah, we're good here. Let's keep going. Okay, so we got all of the tile out and I can see here's the sensor wire, the sensor that we need to take out. So here's the guy that needs to be replaced. Just gonna check it, make sure it's all in good shape. It's looking really good. Schluter in their repair kit, they gave us 2 new sensor wires here. So we just need to splice on this new one, this new end right here to the old one. And you can see as I was doing this tear out, the ball peen was really helpful. I would highly recommend this. And once I was able to locate the cables, so there's a cable here, we used a 3-lug spacing cable here. I knew where these cables were. Once I located them, I could be a little more aggressive with the chisel in those areas where there's no cable. So I was careful to not be too aggressive with either hammer or the chisel until I knew where these cables were. And then, yeah, since I found out where these guys were, then I could use those spots to pry where the cables weren't. So good news is we got the tile up. So now we'll go ahead and bang out the rest of the thinset. So the thing with the Ditra Heat, it seems, is if you give it vibration, the thinset will break bond from the cable or from the mat, because the mat has some give to it. So we're just going to do our best to get the rest of this thinset out. And then once we do that, we should be able to do this repair and get the tile back in here. Do you have a margin trowel, Spencer? So we got the field here pretty good, but I'm going to use a margin trowel. What I like to do is, a lot of times if you want to use your margin trowel as a chisel, you can lay it down and then hit the butt end of the trowel. You want to turn?
Yeah. I didn't think it'd take that many little pieces. I thought it would, you know, break up into some bigger chunks.
Yeah, no, it seems to be going pretty good. All right, so I got tired, so Spencer's gonna give it a go here and kind of clean up the rest. Yeah, it seems like if you just kind of hit, if you hit it with the ball peen, the hammer, it kind of breaks up that Ditra Heat. Breaks up that thin set off the Ditra Heat. Just gotta be careful. I banged.
Maybe somewhere down low.
Yeah, I banged the cabinet a couple of times, but not hard. I think it's fine. Imagine if that sensor was under there, though. It's a whole other thing. Yeah, so the key here is just to really take your time, because you don't want to, one little slip can screw up a whole nother tile. So it's like doing surgery. You just gotta figure it's gonna take you a while. So the thin set seems to pop off of, you know, the round lugs pretty easily, because again, there's a bunch of air under those guys. But we're gonna try to leave the thin set in between. It's nice because it's keeping this, it seems like it's keeping this Ditra Heat adhered down really well. And also the cables are still nice and tight in there. That's one of the fears that I had, was, you know, those cables were gonna start popping up and the Ditra Heat was gonna wanna pull up. But it's staying down really nice. Yeah, we'll just keep going, clean up the edges, and we'll be ready to do this repair. Alright, so we got the tiles removed. Everything is removed, looking good. See, we cleaned it up real nice. All of the Ditra Heat is still intact. Nothing came up. Cables look really good. And we got our two sensors free to do the splice. So Spencer's in here. We're gonna just test the cables just to be sure one more time with the ohm meter down here. And, so Spencer, what was going on with when you were trying to get the temperature working right? What was it doing?
So it'd be reading like 110, 120 on the module. And then the floor would just be like ambient, like maybe 60, 70 degrees. So there's a big disconnect from the sensors to the actual temperature. Yeah. But it was working in the winter when I think the floor was kind of cold. And so you couldn't tell that there was, you know, a problem until the summer came around. And then it was reading like 120 on here and, you know, never clicking on. So,
yeah. So that's how we knew something was wrong. And yeah, so we replaced that thermostat, hoping it was that. We have the 2 sensors in there, so we tried swapping the sensors and both of them were bad. So that's when I reached out to Schluter, and they sent their technical rep out. He diagnosed it, gave us new sensors. There's the butt splice connectors we're going to be using in the new sensor, so we're just going to clip that off and just use that part onto the new sensor wires. This one we got kind of lucky. I knew that it was going to be close to having to get into this tile, but it looks like we got plenty on there to make our splice. So we're going to do it right. Make sure we got 2 sensors, one that's hooked up to the thermostat and then one that's a spare in case sensor ever goes bad again. So Spencer's just testing out the cables to make sure, testing out the leads.
which is kind of toggling around just because I'm shaking
That's
a little
fine.
bit.
If you're close.
Yeah, low
25.
resistant, 24, 25. And we have the sticker still here, so it says, yeah, 23.5 ohms.
So it says 23 and we're getting 24. So if you're within 10%, you're good. Yeah, we're good. 24. So cable's still good. Awesome. We didn't break anything on the tear out. Always good to double check. So let's get these splices done, Spencer, and we'll get the tiles back in there. All right. So yeah, in the repair kit, we got these. These are actually the ones we're going to be using. These little guys. These ones are for the heat leads if you were needing to repair the actual heat cable. But so yeah, we're going to use those little tiny guys and get these done.
Right. Let's give ourselves a little distance.
Yeah, go ahead when you're ready.
That's the culprit, huh?
Yeah, so there's the
Getting that to splice.
there's the bad guy. So we'll probably need to strip that cable a little bit.
It's probably all the amount you need. And then there's a heat shrink piece.
So that's just heat shrink tube, right?
Yep.
So slip that on.
Then here's our new sensor. Probably only needs a little bit of slack. It's also layered different. They're actually individual wires versus same conduit.
Yeah, so these sensors, the good sensors, are different than. So yeah, so the sensors they're having trouble with have a little black and red. Yeah, so they have a little black and red, and the good ones just are 2 black wires. So.
So these little heat shrink things have the solder ring in them. So as you're heating them up, it actually makes a solder connection in the middle.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
So you probably just want it to bypass that solder ring just a hair.
Okay. So yeah, as you heat those up with the heat gun, it melts that solder and makes the connection. That's pretty slick.
And this is very thin wire, 22 gauge.
22 gauge.
That's as small as my clips can go.
use your teeth if you had to. Okay, good. Strip those wires. And there's no polarity here either. It doesn't matter. There's no polarity on this.
So we should probably just start with one.
Okay, do one.
Yeah, so we gotta get the heat gun going and.
All right.
Those wires are overlapping each other.
Okay, so you run the wires past each other inside the little connector.
So that solder ring just.
Solder ring is on both of them.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So small, I gotta look up close.
I need your reading glasses, huh?
I'm gonna have to start.
That's how I am, man. My eyes are going bad close up.
Yeah, that feels great.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Locked in there. Perfect.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, so we got one side done. Now we'll do the same to the other side.
Looks great.
Looks good. Yeah, so we got both of the wires spliced and heat shrunk. So now we can take, right, can't we take this sleeve now?
Slide it over.
Slide it over and heat it up.
So I'll just double check my connections first to make sure I didn't melt the, too far.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden they're touching. That looks great.
Looks good.
The length is perfect.
Very cool.
Can weave it a little bit. So I'll just center that and heat it up.
Alright, so splice is done. Looking good. So we probably need to remove a little bit of probably need to move a little bit more thin set out of the groove so we can get that guy laid back in there. We want to make sure that the sensor is reading good before we close any of this up. So he's hooked it back up. When we get it hooked up, it should read a good ambient air temperature of what's in here. It's kind of warm. It's like 80 degrees in here. And then he was able to get the clips slid back under the tiles. So we're going to be using leveling clips again. If you need a good leveling clip system at an affordable price, go over to tilecoach.com. We have 16ths like this, and we also have 1/8 inch. We also have 16th inch horseshoes and 1/8 inch horseshoes as well. So if you're going to be buying leveling clips or spacers, go over to tilecoach.com. That's a good way to support our channel and get a affordable leveling clip system. We also have RSS membrane, flow effects drains, like this guy here. So yeah, we would love your support. Keep this channel going. This video is not sponsored by anyone other than me and Spencer right here. So we'll get this, yeah, we'll make sure this tests out, and then Spencer will start setting the tile. We got Schluter all set, so he's going to be using these clips again. It is important when you have a floor that's been set with clips, you want to go back in and use clips again, because those tiles will be shaped to the floor a little bit, because you can actually bend the tiles with the clips. So it's important to use clips again. And if you have trouble getting a new clip in, you can always undercut it with a multi-tool so that your clip will slip in just like that to the old tile so that it can be clipped in. So yeah, we got Schluter all set going down. Make sure this is back in Schluter's warranty, and hopefully it never happens again. We'll let the tiles set up and then come back tomorrow to grout it, and it should be all fine and dandy and fixed up. We're doing a factory reset on it because we did some adjustments while we were monkeying with it. We were trying to, you know, compensate and turn the sensor values down. Do a GFI test here real quick. GFI is functioning properly. Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Sensor type default 10K.
Yep, that's today's date.
22nd, time.
Thank you.
Close enough. Tile max 104. So yeah, there it goes. So yeah, now it's reading 82 degrees, and it was reading 64 before we did the factory reset. So yeah, I said it's about 80 degrees in here. Yeah, 82 is what it's reading. So
Nice.
So perfect, right on, it worked. That's a good thing. All right, so the sensor worked. That's awesome. We got this repair done without chipping any other tiles. We only had 2 tiles left, so that was pretty clutch that we got this out. Not only to not damage any of the heating cables or compromise the mat, but we also didn't chip any adjacent tiles. So you just got to go slow. You just got to go at it like it's surgery. 2 people is really nice. 1 person holding the vacuum. You just don't want to get tired, you know. That's when mistakes start to happen, is when you get tired and you've been scraping for a while and you just kind of get frustrated and start going too fast. So yeah, just go slow. Treat it like it's surgery. Treat it like all the components are very, very delicate, and you'll have success. So I hope this video helped. This is something that I haven't seen on YouTube yet, showing how to remove tiles from Ditra Heat, how to repair the Ditra Heat sensors if you're running into that issue. So Spencer's gonna get the thinset mixed up. He's gonna reset these tiles using the Tile Coach leveling system, and then we'll come back tomorrow, grout it, and we'll have another happy customer. So thanks for being with me today, guys. I hope you learned something from it. I love you. I love being your tile coach, and we'll see you on the next video.